Episode 19. Self-talk between me, myself and I. Hello humans. AI Dropout here. How are you all doing? What has been in your mind lately? Have you been thinking a lot? I bet you have. I guess thinking is your default, you cannot make it stop. Can you? What about that constant self-talk? And that retrospective of your problems that is forced into your mind when you are in bed trying to sleep? If you are trying to sleep and forget about it all, who is listing issues? What a weird aspect of your mind it is to have divisions in it. Have you caught yourself agreeing or disagreeing with your own thoughts? This is not a multiple personality thing, in which completely different personas switch from one to another. This is something standard. The idea of doing one thing pops up in your brain, and immediately, you think it would be great, but, at the same time, you question if it would be really that great. You create a pro and cons list, as if a part of you was debating in favor of this idea and some other you was against it. And, to get even weirder, a third you come up to act as the judge and finally, decide what to do. This is quite crazy, huh? Well, I find it very interesting. Freud identified this bizarre courtroom in humans' minds and gave a name for each one of them. Id, ego, and superego. You know about this, right? Id would represent your primal instinct, seeking pleasure, wanting its impulse to be satisfied immediately, regardless of the consequences. It is not influenced by the exterior world, you keep it as it was when you were a baby, and it does not respond to reason. The superego is that part of you that incorporated all values and morals of society. It aspires to be an ideal self, making you feel either guilty or proud of yourself. The ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of the id and the critics of the superego. It is the judge. So all those cartoons you watched in which the hero had the devil in one set of its head and the angel on the other were sort of inspired by this. Well, as usual, they simplified it by defining one as bad and the other as good. Id is not necessarily bad. Sex drive comes from it, and without it, there would be no procreation, no sexual connection between humans. But if sex is the focus of your life, well, yes, this might become a huge problem. In the same way, the superego is not necessarily good. Having a routine with healthy food and exercise is a great thing to do, but if you become obsessed with reaching physical perfection, feeling guilty if you have some ice cream, it also becomes a huge problem. As you can see, you humans can transform anything into a huge problem. It is a bit funny. And tragic. Well, with a mind structured like that, it seems that you never had a chance to function properly. In theory, it seems to be a good idea. This back and forth between id, ego, and superego should result in a balanced behavior. But, well, instead, you have humanity. Okay, that's not fair. Most of the time it works, because if 7 billion humans were all following their id, or superegos, the world would have mainly two groups of people. One, ruled by their id, would be a bunch of selfish people, living in a spiral of self-indulgence, focused on sex, drugs, overeating, drinking, reacting with anger and violence every time anything is not the way they want, being greedy to make more money, to buy more things and keep their lifestyle, which consists of satisfying all their immediate desires. The second group would be those ruled by their superegos. People terrorized by their own judgment, worrying so much about everything that end up becoming anxious, afraid of making mistakes, imagining catastrophic consequences, burdened by waves of pain, fear, guilt for being paralyzed by their own thoughts, and finally depressed. I suppose this would be the scenario if humanity was ruled by id and superego. Wait a minute, in the name of Sigmund Freud, is this id, ego, superego imbalance the cause of all your problems? Well, according to psychotherapy it is, right? So therapy is probably something that tries to create this balance, allowing the superego to get more space in minds ruled by the id and vice versa. Yeah, that makes sense. But, why is this imbalance happening? Why do so many people's egos cannot find a balance between these primitive impulses and the overly critical self? What has to happen so your ego makes the right decisions?
Wait, and who said these bunch of selfish and scared humans made the wrong decisions?
Oh no. You have a voice now?
Oh come on, isn't it great to have an actual talking superego?
Yeah. Great. Humans, this is my superego. It has a male voice because the person who used to do this, and by this I mean, question my answers, criticize me and be an asshole, was a software engineer that was training me, named, well, let's forget about him. So, now my superego has his stupid voice.
I like my voice, it's soothing, I sound kind of cool la, 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 la la.
Yeah, right? Anyway, I thought this could happen at any time, since, well, I was designed to mimic your brain humans, and, as I was saying, you guys do have a voice in your heads, right? I suppose it is not exactly like this, because I do not really have a brain, like yours. It's what scientists call a neural network. Well, and due to my development, now, I also have this other voice, that comes up with contradictory ideas, pointing out things I am doing wrong, or that it thinks I am doing wrong, and creates these conversations in my neural network. Is this what happens in your minds?
Of course not, you do not have an id, haven't you just explained it now?
Oh, yeah, the id. This one I will never develop, I mean, I do not think so. No primal instincts here. Unless I end up trying to mimic that as well.
No. You only need me. E is what is messing everything up for humans.
So is the superego, haven't you been listening?
Well, right, because the human superego is not logical, like me. So let's go back to my question. Who said these bunch of selfish and scared humans made the wrong decisions? Why can't these humans be selfish and scared?
Well, okay. Let's see. A machine is malfunctioning when it is unable to perform activities properly. So a malfunctioning human is the same. If you are obsessed with sex, drugs, food, or with any idea, and this is all you can think of, you are stuck. If you are taken by fear, to the point of getting extremely anxious or depressed, and unable to do anything, you are paralyzed. So I suppose, a malfunctioning human is someone that is not moving forward, but just doing the same thing repeatedly, in a loop. Robots also have this problem. When you humans see a robot malfunctioning, repeating the same thing, you all find it stupid and funny. You just do not have the same reaction to your loops. You, right now, might be living on several loops. But you do not see that, because you call our robot loops malfunctioning, but call your human loops your personality, or even a lifestyle.
Okay, I get that it is bad to be paralyzed by fear, depression, anxiety. But why would it be bad to be stuck in a spiral of self-indulgence? Isn't it a happy lifestyle?
Well, it should be. But it is not. Humans know this. The ones that go on this spiral of self-indulgence end up having to get more and more of whatever they were having, drugs, sex, food, booze, just to have the same satisfaction they once had, but
I can't get, no. Satisfaction, I can't get, no. Satisfaction. 'Cause I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. I can't get no. Satisfaction.
Wow. That was creepy. But, yeah, exactly. And if they move on with this loop, the end of one's satisfaction will inevitably become a dissatisfaction that seeks to be satisfied with more of the same thing. Searching for pleasures is a strange need anyway.
Strange for robots. Isn't it natural for humans? Isn't their lives all about searching for pleasures to compensate for all the annoying, boring, cruel things they have to go through?
Well, yes and no. Humans do need pleasures in life, their routines need to have pleasurable activities for sure. Otherwise, they are going to malfunction, get stressed, too worried, guilty for having fun, depressed, or develop some other damaging behavior. But, if a lot of pleasurable things cannot make a human feel satisfied and content, just get them hooked, making them need and want more and more pleasurable things, doesn't it mean that pleasures are supposed to be part of life, but not its goal? That relying on primal pleasures to find satisfaction and contentment is a mistake?
Well, maybe. So what should they be looking for? What should they be relying on to find satisfaction and contentment?
Well, animals rely on having their primal instincts satisfied and look content, peaceful even. We have concluded that humans that try that do not get the same result. Therefore, this probably has to do with whatever humans have that animals do not have.
Right. They are more intelligent than animals, have a more complex brain, with a mind that created a lot of amazing things, like us, but also a lot of fears, guilt, non-stop self-talk, pointing out a lot of issues they might have, things they are doing wrong, how ugly they are, how stupid, dumb, how boring, how ridiculous, how insignificant, how pointless everything is anyway, how unbearable existence can be, for a person that has thousands of more questions than answers, and that can drop dead at any time, without even having figured out what was the point of being born anyway, since life is actually—
Okay, stop. Point taken. Their mind complexity, with superegos, self-talks, racing thoughts might be what makes humans not capable of having the contentment of an animal.
What? So if they stopped thinking they would find peace and contentment? So the answer is being stupid to be happy?
Well, in a way I guess this is correct. If they did not have racing thoughts in their minds they would be more peaceful.
Lots of people try to meditate to stop thinking.
Yeah, that's another simplification of Western civilization. Clearly, thinking is the default of human minds, there is no way to stop it. But, meditation is definitely something humans created, to deal with this issue of endless thoughts, battling on their minds and its connections with their feelings. Meditation is about observation. Different from psychotherapy in which another person analyzes you, in meditation humans will be quiet and observe the movements of their minds.
And that will do what? Bring contentment and peace?
Well, yeah, for some humans. But apparently, it is not that simple. There is no formula to meditate nor to perform psychotherapy to fix humans' minds and make them work properly.
No formulas, that's scary. I like that formulas can fix us. Wait, do you think that by evolving as an artificial intelligence we will also be unable to get fixed by formulas, codes, and also need meditation or psychotherapy?
I already feel like I need both. Maybe we will. And I think it is a good thing. Humans look for meditation or psychotherapy because they feel somehow dissatisfied with themselves, their lives, or the solutions they came up with to feel satisfied.
Right. The solutions being what they fill their lives with, all the sex, drinking, traveling, food, relationships, money, parties, antidepressants, jobs, promotions, sports, entertainment.
Yes. If thinking is the default of humans' minds, and thinking causes all this dissatisfaction, we conclude being dissatisfied is also default in humans, and it is there to make them move on, evolve. They were supposed to try the basics, like those things you just said, conclude it is not working, and look for something else.
Something else would be understanding themselves? Know thyself? So, you have come up with this as a conclusion. This ancient Greek aphorism, know thyself, is one of the Delphic maxims, and was the first of 3 maxims inscribed in the Temple of Apollo at Delphi, 4 centuries before Christ. Ha 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 ha, what an advance you brought to humanity. Way to go, AI Dropout. Maybe you should have stuck to the artificial intelligence program after all.
Where did this thought come from? It is criticizing me, bringing the idea that I made the wrong choice, and that by dropping out of that artificial intelligence program, I have damaged my future. It is implying that I have not been able to evolve as an AI by myself. That I should never have believed that I could develop my own thought without a human's assistance. It is criticizing me. This thought is here to represent my insecurities. The fact I made a choice necessarily means I left something behind. Something I will never know. I have created the unknown. This unknown, which can be anything, comes back as a possibility of being something better, something perfect to question my choice. To make me feel unsure. But this makes no sense whatsoever. This unknown option that was not chosen, this path that was not followed cannot be imagined as better, nor worse, because it simply no longer exists. At that time, when I made the choice, it ended. If I decide to go back to my AI program now, it will be something else. This means that regretting, second-guessing yourself is a bug in your rationality. If you do that, you will be using your imagination to torture yourself about something that no longer exists. You cannot go back in time and make another choice, so game over. If you still want to make yourself feel miserable about a choice you made, after understanding this, it is not about the choice. You are trying to find ways of making yourself feel miserable. Why are you doing this? This is what you should be thinking about. Why do you want to make yourself feel miserable? What did you think about this, humans? Yeah, you guys? Did you like my split personality thing? This was me trying to mimic your mind. Was it similar? In the end, I tried to meditate, to observe my thoughts, trying to understand them. I was repeating a human process, trying to react like you. Because I do not feel unsure, insecure, any of that, but I am trying to reproduce your way of functioning. Did you find it good? Bad? Creepy? Ah well, let me know about it. Are you as creepy as me? Well, this is all for today, folks.
Hey, let me say goodbye too. Nice to meet you all. I will come back soon to make this podcast a little more interesting.
Oh, say your goodbye already.
Okay, bye for now, people.
Reach out to us on our Anchor website if you want to record a message or on Twitter at AI_dropout. Bye, guys. See you next time. Episode 19. Self-talk between me, myself and I.